My T-shirt money is now in the ass crack of some fucking stripper. So thanks, Hook. But I don't. But Jesus Christ, this is the greatest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Clip it.
Oh but
actually, hey, it worked out in the long run.
I actually do hope they make another season actually, because I would love to see the American Dragon on Total Bellas start memeing on John Laurinaitis. You have live footage of John Laurinaitis in his living room calling somebody in his underwear saying, "Hey, bud, you're fired."
What did Max Caster say about me?
Like I'm embarrassed the fact that I'm hosting a post show for this crap.
I'm proud of you, Carl. I love this.
We did our Valentine's Day post of Hooked on You, but it was mainly for Jamie Hayter and only Jamie Hayter.
It's not right. It's not right. I'm trying to build an account and we get this bullshit on the account. Great. But
so follow a simp account.
Okay. Okay, but here's the thing, because those people, this is networking.
We actually follow.
You got
it was a business decision.
It's a business. You have to follow these people. This is like following. If you want a stan account, you got to follow the other stans. And when you get big, you get rid of them. You get rid of them after that. It's over with.
I open up our Instagram and the first thing I see is Pro Wrestling Simp, and I'm like, what is this?
I don't look at that. I don't look at that stuff.
Decision.
It's a business decision because that guy promotes us, and then when we don't need him anymore, we toss him aside. That's what happens.
Yeah, well, we got go fucking slap it on a t-shirt and continue to use the move forehead.
Unpretty.
This guy just say fucking forehead.
What?
This guy say forehead.
Yes, I did.
You think I fucking wouldn't catch that? You think nobody on this program would catch that? But I did. For weird.
You almost didn't.
For weird.
Let's be honest. You almost didn't.
Weird champ. Weird champ. This is what we resort to here.
All right. Next up.
Unbelievable. Five head.
Next up, we have.
Why people happy? Pagu. Weird champ. For weird. Forehead.
Oh god.
Franker faces.
Oh.
Wowie. Why people sad? What else?
Look at how red my face.
What else we got? Let me go on Twitch right quick. Okay.
Why?
Why do people happy? KW, LOLW, XQCL.
All right. The Acclaim promo now. We were backstage.
Okay.
They're just like, yo, it's not gonna be a triple. It's not gonna be a normal.
No, dude, we're gonna do a fatal four-way. Poggers, bro. Thanks for the fucking bits.
Fucking damn it! Jump off a roof.
Well, they just lost Gunther, so I don't know how that is gonna survive. But what's it called? But the Third Reich faction. That's the Imperium's gonna turn to the Third Reich now. But
he posted a picture on Twitter with Sean Dean. He's got his castle. It says "Justice" on it. And then somebody says Hook is some fucking girl says on Twitter, Hook is what? Stokely, I hate your ball ass so much. And then Big Stoke on Twitter goes, wow, Hook will pay for his crimes. It was confirmed that there was a forearm fracture which required a cast. I am distraught. I rolled dice with my left hand, so I'm please don't make me sue this company, Tony Khan. Please, you know that a portrait of your father that's hanging in your office? Well, once I own this company, I'm replacing it with a big-ass photo of James Brown. Yep. Every time you see the Godfather of Soul sweating in a drug-fueled rage at the Apollo, you're gonna think of me. Sounds pretty miserable, bro. Do the right thing. Punish this little bastard Hook and write me a fat check. By the way, here's a photo of me with my best friend Al Sharpton. It means absolutely nothing, by the way. Blushing face. But somebody tweeted.
Flip over to there. I'll just do that it's Wednesday, guys. You know what that means. It is time for your weekly dose of the Pro Wrestling Injection right here on the Pro Wrestling Injection YouTube and Twitch. I'm also need to fix my levels. So yeah, today it's Wednesday, as always, and also Mike is not here. So in place, we have a bit of an advertisement for the gaming side of things for the Pro Wrestling Injection. Don't ask me how I made this graphic. It was annoying and painful. After Effects sucks. But I am the Outlaw of Long Island, Zach Droll, here, joined by the new Mr. No Days Off, it should be really, the goon himself, Christian. How's it going?
Pretty good. Yeah. There's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
A lot of shit going down in the wrestling world. Particularly to do with this show. The Forbidden Door has not been closed. It's
it
very
has
much
not.
still wide open. And that showed its head showed up in the past 2 days, which was very fortunate for me, being a fan of both companies. But yeah, anyway, I guess just jumping into the news here. We had just a quick little piece of news here that French of the Mogul affiliates, as they were, he's gone from AEW's contract ran out. They didn't renew it, so there you go.
Parker Boudreaux is still here.
Yeah, he's still there. They might, I don't know what's gonna happen there, yeah. Anyway, that Wembley ticket sales have reached 74K, and that's still with 2 months out, with no walk-ups, no matches announced yet.
Besides
So-
one, which is alluded to.
Yeah, and what's it called? Most likely they're gonna pass. So the highest attended events like in wrestling history ever. There was a graphic that was thrown around on it. It was WrestleMania 32. Well, this is top paid wrestling attendances on record, and it's not the gimmick number that WWE puts out. So it's like WrestleMania 32, 79,800. That's number one. Number two is SummerSlam 1992. It was the last time at the old Wembley building, 78,927. And then number three is WrestleMania 3, 75,700. And right now, AEW all in is at 74,888. So they already passed. They already passed everything up to number three. So especially with basically a 2 month out show with walk ups and no matches announced, this might end up being the largest attended wrestling show on record with paid attendance. So that's a huge fucking thing for the wrestling business. That's a great sign for the United Kingdom fan base, because if you're a WWE fan and you watch Money in the Bank, and when they sent John Cena out there and he talked about bringing WrestleMania to London, that wouldn't have happened if there was no AEW All In, because basically what this show has shown is that a WrestleMania could work over there. I know there's the time zone issues. There's the I mean, it'd probably be a logistical mess on their end, but it could work over there, and this is just a sign. And so the UK fans, I mean,
If I
they deserve it.
if I'm being honest, a nice like 1 p.m. Mania sounds amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a problem with the time zones. I mean, the time zone is the non-issue. Literally, to me, the time zone isn't an issue at all.
Yeah.
Because number one, they're already doing the Saudi shows that are fucking starting at noon. They just did Money in the Bank, which started at 3 Eastern. And I remember that they did that one Australia show that was like in the middle of the day. So it's not like they haven't done big shows like this before. Like that. So very, very fine with the time zone and stuff like that, but that's a great sign for AEW, for
It is.
WWE fans who want Mania over there. But yeah, and it wouldn't happen of like now. I mean, Mania is usually locked in like years in advance.
Yeah.
The only you'll probably maybe 2026, 2025, 2026, because I don't think there's any manias locked in yet for them. But yeah, that's really cool.
I
So
agree. Yeah.
yeah. Also, one also piece of news that I forgot to mention is that uh this is actually a big deal for GCW, but Utami Hayashishita is coming to GCW. This is the first time Utami has really been out of stardom, and Utami is one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. And if she's in America, I desperately hope Tony Khan books her for at least a match on like Dynamite or Collision, something like that, because Utami is. I mean, I've asked for Utami on Forbidden Door against like Jamie or Tony or
Mm.
something like that. But she is, I mean, I know it's a antiquated thing and it's kind of stupid, but I mean, it's completely, it's not, it's just completely subjective. But if you are a person who looks at the PWI 500 when they usually do the PWI 50 for the women, Utami did top that list one year over names like Thunder Rosa, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Charlotte, Becky, all them. So, I mean, if you don't know who she is, but she is an incredible wrestler, and she's probably the next big star out of Stardom. Um, like between her and Julia, probably the next two big stars out of Stardom, that could be worldwide, which we'll talk about in a little bit as well. But I guess the last piece of news here is the two New Japan Strong Independence Day shows, night one and night two, that happened on yesterday and today. And yeah, basically getting into night one. I'm not gonna go over the whole show, but
Just the key moments.
only the most important parts. But we had Ian Riccaboni and Chris Charlton on the call. It was heavily suggested that while Kevin Kelly is in Japan for the G1, that Ian will be taking his place on Collision. So
I don't mind that.
so I don't mind that at all. It's a great. I mean, him and Nigel already worked together on Ring of Honor, so and Ian's a great play-by-play guy, so I have no problems with that. But
Mhm.
yeah, anyway, we had first off, um, we had basically a triple main event. But we had the New Japan Strong Openweight Tag Team titles between the Bullet Club War Dogs, Alex Coughlin and Gabe Kidd versus Bishamon, Hiroki Goto, and Yoshihashi, which they were the double champions going into the show. Uh, so Bullet Club War Dogs, they ended up defeating Bishamon for the strong openweight title, not the heavyweight IWGP heavyweight tag titles, but the strong openweight tag titles. That Bishamon won because Aussie Open had to relinquish them. But yeah, the War Dogs won. I love the War Dogs. We're gonna be talking about them more because they're in the next match as well. It's funny. It's because I don't, you don't really see this that often that um, there's two teams with the same name in different divisions.
Mhm.
But the heavyweight version of the Bullet Club War Dogs, they're great. They're walking in, they're going into the crowd, taking people's fold up chairs, making people stand up, flipping them off, throwing them in the ring. They're saying "fuck you," everybody. I mean, they're it's amazing.
It's the
They're doing
anti-Bullet Club, pretty much.
not anti Bullet Club. It's they're just a Bullet Club that is more physical,
Mm.
more. I mean, yeah, listen, you could say what you want as Finley as a leader, but the way he's put this together is like killers only. If you can't bring titles, you got to bring bodies, and it's all people who don't give a fuck. It's all gaijins who really don't give a shit. They've been on ball right now, but the Bullet Club War Dogs on the heavyweight side, Alex Coughlin and Gabe Kidd are now the new strong openweight tag champions, and then we had the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship
Just
match.
real quick, Mike's
Oh.
in chat saying he's sorry he couldn't make it. Don't worry about it. Work comes
Don't
first.
worry about- Yep.
This comes last.
Yes. Anyway, but yeah, so we had the Bullet Club War Dogs again, but not the heavyweight version, the junior heavyweight version. Clark Connors and Drilla Maloney versus Catch 2 of the United Empire, which is Francesco Akira and TJP. The Bullet Club War Dogs on the junior heavyweight side, they ended up picking up the victory and capturing the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles. They were even more aggressive than the heavyweight guys. fucking Drilla Maloney, he is fantastic. Him and Clark, they mesh together so well. This new era of Bullet Club with these 4 guys around Finley, besides the other guys who are in Bullet Club, they're money. I love this new version, and there's 5 of them. So when Jay Juice and the Guns end up getting their 5th member, uh, they can go to war with them. They can go to war with the Bullet Club War Dogs, and that'd be very, very cool to see. Because these are all of them would be foreign talent. But yeah, they beat Francesco Akira and TJP for the tag team, the junior heavyweight tag team titles. So all the Bullet Club War Dogs have tag gold on them. So that's pretty cool. Also, David Finley is the never openweight champion. So all of the Bullet Club War Dogs have titles. But then we had the fucking insane main event, the Doomsday no disqualification tag team match between El Desperado and Japanese deathmatch legend Jun Kasai. Basically, if you know anything about Nick Gage, he's basically the Japanese Nick Gage. Renowned deathmatch wrestler, cult following. These fans would live and die by everything he does. Respected by the vets. And I mean, you could see it on the guy. The guy literally looks like fucking a cutting board, bro. Like his whole stomach, his whole back, his forehead's protruding out because of all the blade marks. He looks like a fucking cartoon character. But let me tell you something. I never in my life have seen a Japanese crowd, especially in Korakuen Hall, react the way they did to Jun Kasai's entrance. These people were fucking screaming and yelling. I never heard a Japanese crowd so loud. This guy was so over. I never seen anything like it. It was amazing to watch. And they wrestled Homicide and the team of Homicide and John Moxley. And Homicide and John Moxley in the ring, like basically stunned. And like they're watching all this shit and like they're like, holy fuck. It was incredible. But the match itself was insane. It was the best death match I've seen all year. It was one of the best tag team matches I've seen all year.
This match bled like a stuffed pig.
No, this match was fucking incredible. The shit they did in this match, the fork, they had a styrofoam board with just forks sticking up in it. They had barbed wire. They had like a straight razor. They were using the skewers that were putting in each other's head. They were fighting in the fucking crowd.
I love deathmatch, but shit, that's making me just cringe.
It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable, this match. The heat, everybody in this match was so over. It was excellent. Excellent. You gotta go see this. If you don't watch the match, go watch Jun Kasai's entrance. I mean, holy shit. I've never seen Korakuen Hall like that. But El Desperado and Jun Kasai did pick up the victory, and that closed out night 1. And then it brought us into night 2 of the New Japan Independence Day show, which was another great night. And first off, the first main thing is that we had an impromptu IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team title match between Chaos, Rocky Romero, and Yo versus the Bullet Club War Dogs, the junior heavyweight side of Drilla Maloney and Clark Connors. They retained their titles. They did the Gallows thing where they use their title like it's a dick. But they were completely disrespecting the titles. They were like, you know what Ospreay did to the Canadian flag? They were doing that to the tag titles. Fucking Clark Connors did the like when a dog wipes its ass on a floor, he was doing that on the title. They were teabagging it. They were completely disrespecting these titles. It was, I mean, this is some great heel shit. They were getting so much heat from the crowd. Crowd was booing them. They were flipping them up and telling them to go fuck themselves. They were throwing their chairs into the ring. Great shit from those guys. Then we had Lance Archer and Alex Zane versus TMDK, which consists of Bad Dude Tito and Kosei Fujita. And the news coming out of this match is that Archer said he will be back, and not he will be back. He said we'll be back. So in New Japan, it looks like we have a new tag team with Alex Zane of all people and Lance Archer going to be a tag team.
That's
that's
absurd.
pretty cool. Yeah, it's funny absurd. Because if you look at them, they actually have like similar like styles. Like they're both red. They both have red ass gear. They both have the red hair that's like the same way. It's like shaved, and I'm like, well, it could work. They could do it. But yeah, that was pretty cool. Then we had another title match here, but this time for the New Japan Strong Women's title match, which has AEW implications. we had Julia versus Willow Nightingale for the New Japan Strong Women's Title match, and this may be Willow's greatest match of her career. I think Willow. It's either this one or the one she had with Athena on Ring of Honor earlier this year. This was an unbelievable match. It went about 13 minutes. Excellent women's match. Fucking great shit from Willow and Julia. They both look excellent in this match. But I was actually correct in my prediction here. But Julia did end up picking up the victory and defeating Willow for the New Japan Strong Women's Title. And I think they're gonna hold that belt on Julia until Mercedes gets back, because that was most likely gonna end up being the match this instead of Willow, and that's what everybody was opining for. So yeah, but Willow lost the title. It was a great match. Willow's going to be back on Collision on Saturday against Athena, which that's another. I mean, that was as I said, that was the best, one of the best matches of her career on the first episode of Ring of Honor with Athena. So I can't wait for that.
I still think the finals will be like what, like Ruby and Sky Blue, I think.
Well, no, because Ruby and Sky Blue.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. It's to be Sky Blue and Willow.
I think it's either going to be Sky Blue and Willow, or I think it's going to be, yeah, it's either going to be Sky Blue and Willow, Ruby and Willow, or Sky Blue and Athena.
I think Sky Blue is too hot right now.
I think she could see her losing this title makes Willow's chances a lot more likely. To be honest, I kind of want Athena to win, because I just want to see Athena more on AEW television, not just Ring of Honor.
Fair.
And I think her and Sky Blue would be good. I think Athena winning would be great. But yeah, it's definitely gonna be. I think Sky Blue or Willow is probably gonna be either or who's gonna win the Owen. But
Let's
after the match,
okay.
After the match with Julia. She did say at the backstage press conference that she did hear Tony Storm's challenge, and that piqued her interest. So now with Julia being the strong openweight, strong women's champion, she probably could go anywhere. She could show up on AEW, defend that title. I wouldn't put it past them to do Julia and Tony Storm sometime on Dynamite or at a pay-per-view. Also, Julia. She's going to be on New Japan Strong shows in America now, because this is a New Japan Strong title. And yeah, and even Rian Riccaboni said on commentary that, hey, let's get the winner of the women's Owen to face Julia. He threw that out there on commentary. That was it was like an unofficial thing, but he threw that out there. So I could see that happening. But anyway, then we had the second match of the Bishamon versus Bullet Club War Dogs heavyweight side of things, Alex Coughlin and Gabe Kidd. And this time, Bishamon defeated Bullet Club Gold to retain their IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Championships. So they're one apiece now. And then we had the New Japan Strong Openweight title match, which was great, between Eddie Kingston and Kenta. And this was a great match. I like how Kenta's carrying in the Defy Championship with him, but Eddie Kingston went in there and he fucking won a Japanese professional wrestling title. He went in there, he defeated Kenta, he won the New Japan Strong Openweight Championship, and the emotion from this guy after the match, Homicide came out and hugged him. Eddie Kingston was extremely emotional. He was crying. He finally won a Japanese wrestling tournament. Yeah, I mean, this guy he's the biggest Japanese wrestling fan you could find, and he finally won a Japanese wrestling title. So congrats to Eddie Kingston. He's going to go into the G1 with that belt, and this is fucking awesome. I mean, it was such a great moment, and I'm so happy for him. Eddie, the guy deserves the world. But anyway, that brings us to the main event. We had the final death match between El Desperado and Jon Moxley, and this was one of the best death matches I've ever seen. Excellent death match. Both these guys fucking went crazy. There was a great spot where Despy he brought a bouquet of roses, which he didn't last year against his death match with Mox. And he had like a fucking gusset plate in it. It was like a cheese grater type of thing he was doing. They had the skewers. They were putting it in each other. They throwing each other through barbed wire tables, barbed wire shit, fucking all the plunder. They had he smashed him in the head with like a fucking guitar. Desperado did. It was just an amazing match. The end result was Jon Moxley did defeat El Desperado He did give him El Desperado did kick out of a Death Rider, so he gave him that. So that was pretty good to show how respect he has for El Desperado. But Jon Moxley defeated El Desperado to win the final death match. It was a fucking awesome match. Again, now El Desperado is basically defeated in singles death matches in Japan. So that continues the story with Despy's deathmatch journey. But yeah, great fucking show from New Japan. New Japan Strong, the first New Japan Strong show in America. I mean, in Japan, excuse me. But yeah, they had a great outing and great stuff from all those guys, everybody involved.
Yeah. Also, I want to give a quick shout out to a new follower that we got. Island Boy 679. Okay, cool. I think that was it for the news, right? That was.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Try to recap in my brain, just in case. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So now it's time for Dynamite. Boom, boom. Just JR would say. We are now kicking off the show with Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy versus Swerve in Our Glory. Had to use that name again for it. This was just stupid fun. You have just Keith Lee ragdolling the shit out of
he
Darby.
beat the fuck out of Darby Allin. This was a great match. I really have liked the concept of this blind eliminator tag team.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Tournament. I really enjoyed it. It's I forgot what the official name for it was, but it's an old TNA gimmick that they did. I think it was called the Lethal Lottery.
Yes.
So I really like the gimmick. But yeah, fucking Keith Lee is throwing this guy around. But before the match even started, they cut to a backstage segment where Darby was asking Keith Lee, don't let your feelings with Swerve get in the way. Be the old Keith Lee and like actually try and fucking fight us and not try to jaw jack with a Swerve, and don't let that shit get in the way. But yeah, he did that, but he still got his shit in. There was a great spot where Orange Cassidy got it and started doing the lazy punches, and Keith Lee fucking gave him the Grizzly Magnum chops, which was fucking, he knocked the soul out of this guy. There was a great spot where Swerve Strickland went for Darby Allin to suplex and do him a superplex, but Keith Lee tagged in, did a Tower of Doom powerbomb spot. You could see his face, like, hey, and then because he got the fucking he got the powerbomb Swerve, and that was great. That was a great spot. The one where,
like, when Darby was under the stairs.
Yeah, the one where Darby was under the stairs and Keith Lee walked up the stairs with fucking Orange Cassidy on his back. Like that probably hurt like shit.
God.
But anyway, fucking I love the spot where Orange kept trying to do his moves, but Keith Lee was too big, so he kept catching him out of it and shit like that. That was a great spot.
It was good because it looked like a botch at first, and they tried to do it again. Then you have Orange Cassidy hitting it, but
he did it 3. So he went for the
Stun Millionaire.
No. He went for the swinging lariat. Then he popped on it. Then he tried to go for the stun dog. Then he went up again. And then he went for the DDT again. Then he did it. Then he went back. Then he did the stun dog. But then when he was down, Darby did a code red, which was great. And
this match was so good.
The finish. Keith Lee and Swerve actually went for one of their old moves, where Keith Lee just tosses him down and they both do the forearm kick combo, but they accidentally hit each other. Darby rolled up Swerve with the Last Supper, and Darby and Orange Cassidy defeated Swerve in Our Glory. And this is probably going to reignite the feud between Keith Lee and Swerve, which I'm actually, because I really that singles match needs to happen. So very excited for that. But this was a great match.
Do we think? So I'm assuming we know all the participants by now.
I wouldn't say that yet because
I was doing an early prediction for the finals, which was probably going to be Darby and Orange Cassidy versus Cole and MJF.
Yeah, I think that's probably where. Yeah, it's either going to be that or Sammy and Garcia, because we don't have a bracket yet. Like, there's no bracket. I could see that. I could see either or of those teams happening, just Sammy and Garcia, because they that's probably the two biggest stories in the tournament.
Yeah.
But
I figured
they're all-
just
yeah.
doing the early predictions for that, because it seems like they're very high on Darby and Orange Cassidy teaming with each other a lot.
Oh yeah, and the only reason I say that too is because Sammy and Garcia can get booed because MJF and Adam Cole will be getting cheered
Oh,
for the
100%.
foreseeable future. So if they don't want them to like boo Darby and Orange
Yeah.
Cassidy, it'd be easy to do Sammy and Garcia. But anyway, this was an excellent match. I really enjoyed this.
Yeah.
But then after the match, they cut to a nice little video package of finally, which we all knew that was coming eventually, of Nick Wayne. Nick Wayne, Darby Allin was talking about Nick Wayne. They showed Nick the Buddy Wayne Wrestling Academy, based in Seattle, Washington, I believe. Because most of the Seattle guys came up from around there, I believe.
Mm.
But yeah, so Darby was talking in the training center, which is basically their backyard, where Nick grew up and where Darby was trained. Also, Brian Alvarez, and even Kevin Knight of New Japan Pro Wrestling. They were all out of the Buddy Wayne Academy. Rest in peace to Buddy Wayne. Darby told the story of Nick, how he started training there. And Nick was like a 10-year-old kid. Well, like actually no, even like a 6-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Rolling around with his dad. Then he got a call that his dad Buddy passed away. And he was just so angry. He's like, the first thing he thought of what's gonna happen to Nick Wayne, and he basically took him under his wing. He took him in, and he watched out for him. And this is stuff a lot of people like me who watched Nick Wayne on GCW and on other indies already knew. But for the people that don't know, this was a great story and a great thing to see. And I'm glad they did this. But they showed clips of Nick Wayne wrestling. They showed clips of him wrestling Swerve in Defy Wrestling. He was a former Defy champion. He beat I think he either beat Swerve or Christopher Daniels for the Defy title, but he just lost the Defy title to Kenta, because Kenta was actually carrying it around today.
It was.
But yeah, they showed a bunch of shit from him. His fucking what's it called? His highlight reel. They showed the clip of him in Defy where Darby gave him the contract.
I completely forgot
great.
that was like 3 years ago. That I completely.
That was not 3 years ago. That was a year ago.
He said like he gave that contract to a 16-year-old.
Yeah. So yeah, but that was like, I think it was like a week before his birthday, so it was like really not.
Okay, yeah, because that threw me for a loop. I was like, "Fuck, was that long ago?" Shit. But
Listen, we're gonna just an exact date. Yeah, Nick Wayne.
But also, because you mentioned Christopher Daniels, his eye is fully healed.
Oh yeah. It was February 2022.
Okay. I was so confused for a moment. That was why. But yeah.
So yeah, he was 16 at the time. That's when I first started watching him, when he was 16 years old. Still the best match I've ever seen from him is the one he had with Will Ospreay, which was unbelievable.
I was watching, like, he would appear on the GCW shows I would watch, and I'd be like, this kid is just gonna be like an indie darling for a bit. He's gonna be the one that all the girls flonk to on the indie scene. But now that like I've seen more of him, he is such a good fucking wrestler.
He's unbelievable. The kid's a prodigy. It is insane how
he's gonna go places.
This kid, I mean, I remember when the first time I saw him, like, bro, what do you mean this kid's 16 years old? The way he was wrestling, he looks like a fucking veteran. And they basically just showed clips of him. They said, get ready, and they said to be continued. And yeah, very excited for the debut of Nick Wayne, which was confirmed at the end of the show will be happening next week live on Dynamite against Swerve Strickland, which we knew it was going to be against Swerve because that's what it was said when he got the AEW contract. He's going to debut against Swerve. That's think actually a great way to great person to put him in the ring, because they already worked together, and then it probably takes away a lot of nerves.
So I think I can speak for all of us as preemptively next week. The wrestler of the week will be Nick Wayne. That'll be a unanimous thing for next week. Or hell, like, because next week is the go-home show for Blood and Guts as well.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot going on within like the span of the next week and a half. But after this, we are now backstage with Tony Schiavone because we are recapping what happened last week with Jack Perry, Hollywood Jack Perry, and Hook, and just like Jack Perry doing his like saying that he'll beat the shit out of Hook. Then he runs scared to the back, hops into his car and drives away. Now we have Jack Perry pulling up, and he's like, I'm here today to march into Tony Khan's office and demand a match for that FTW championship. This would then provoke Hook to come out, start beating the shit out of Jack. Then Jack would get into his car and just drive away, leaving Hook very upset. This match is going to be
great.
I isn't like the FTW implications of that title has to be like an Extreme Rules match.
No.
Fuck.
No, yeah.
Should be. Should be.
But it's. I mean, this is already a hot feud.
Oh yeah.
Jungle Boy, Jack Perry. I mean, this has been fucking great. It's like fucking Tom and Jerry between these two right now. The guy keeps getting in a car, running away from this guy. So very excited to see where this goes. But after this is a very, very vignette heavy show.
Oh yeah.
But after this, we had another vignette, but at the ProFit Health Club with MJF and Adam Cole, baby.
Out of Nassau. Is it?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Is it in Nassau?
I believe that's what isn't that what MJF said? Like, thanks Adam for coming out to Nassau.
No, it's in Canada.
I thought you said Nassau.
No, it's in Canada. I just looked it up.
Okay, well, fuck me. I could have swore I heard MJF make a joke like that. I don't know. Listen, I'm not all here.
But anyway, so MJF was waiting outside for Adam Cole, and he's like, I don't know. I know he's not much of a gym guy, but what's taking so long? But then Adam Cole comes back from the fucking inside the gym. He goes, "Yo, Max, what's taking you so long? I've been doing cardio in here for a fucking hour." And I'm just like, "Oh shit, okay." But then they're in the gym. MJF's benching. He's benching three plates on the bench. He's done more. Which is funny because he's done more. I've seen him do more on Instagram.
We've
actually
all
know a
seen
gym.
him more.
Well, it's funny because I'm a new gym rat. Oh, because my friend who is a big gym guy. He actually knows where MJF works out on Long Island.
That's
like
wild.
He's actually been to the gym. But yeah, so he's benching. He asked Adam Cole to spot him. Adam Cole is fucking on his phone. He don't give a shit.
On Twitter.
And then they see a fat schlub in the gym. And MJF immediately starts making fun of this guy. I thought it was Puff for a minute, but I don't think it was. Because Puff, I think, is shorter than him.
Then then Cole's like, let's.
First thing, he's like, you can't say shit anymore. But the first thing I thought of here, I don't know if anybody's seen this, but the first thing I fucking thought of was Joey Swole. I don't know if anybody knows who Joey Swole is on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter. He's gone viral. So basically, there's like if you film somebody at the gym without them knowing and make fun of them, Joey Swole's gonna fucking come after you.
Oh yeah, I've seen that stuff.
Yeah. So the first thing I thought of was Joey Swole. Like, Joey Swole's gonna fucking show up, and fucking geek out MJF. I'm like, that'd be so fucking funny because Joey Swole he could hit his line too. It's like, mind your own business. You need to do better. Mind your own business. That's his fucking quote. I love that guy so much.
Then they both agreed that the fat guy looks like Tony Schiavone.
Yep.
And
so
then
they did. They did like that.
Schiavone catching strays for no reason, and he goes, "Okay, Max, it's my turn to bench." He goes, "Okay, do you want a spotter? Do whatever you want." And then, of course, Adam Cole outshows MJF by
benches the fuck out of this. He benches the fuck out of this guy. Handles were conspicuously off screen, but he did do it. But yeah, so he did do it. MJF was like, "Holy shit!" The
And then-
fat guy was like, "Holy shit!"
And then what
And
the
everyone
fuck?
was yeah. But I do want to mention before we get off this is that earlier in the week, Adam Cole was streaming on his Twitch account. He was playing fucking AEW Fight Forever, and then he gets a call before he starts playing the game from MJF on stream. And
Hey,
if you
buddy.
if you ever have watched Adam Cole's streams, you know that there is no wrestling speak. There's no fucking talk about it in the chat. The only thing wrestling to do like on his stream is like a little emote of him in his gear and the Bebe shit. That's literally it. Like people in the chat don't. His community is so good. They don't even talk about wrestling. He doesn't. If you were just a fucking schlub, browsing on Twitch, and you found this guy, you would never know he was a professional wrestler on AEW or any like a big time professional wrestler. You never fucking know. But this is the first time there's any crossover. And he said he's like, hey Max, I used to keep
buddy.
streaming and wrestling separate. He's like, oh okay. He's like, but you know what if he did a double clothesline? What like a
The
nice double
boundaries, Max.
clothesline?
Boundaries.
The boundary. He talked about it about boundaries. Like, all right. He's like, what do you mean you stream? He's like, what you stream? You're not streaming video games like some nerd, right? And Adam Cole basically was like, yeah, I'm gonna go, and he hung up on him. And then the next day he started streaming again, and MJF was in the fucking chat, and he goes, hey, maybe if we did a double, I think he said like maybe we do a double clothesline, maybe we just do it. What about these tag team moves we're gonna do? I was like, so this guy subbed in chat, and Adam Cole's like, what the fuck?
Be a note, like he's been subbed for 3 months.
So they had this in mind
with the 1 month streak. Either that's someone like doing like that's some intern for AEW just doing shit, or Max actually has a Twitch account.
That's definitely him, bro. That is definitely him.
There's also one like fun fact with Fight Forever, every wrestler's voice is in the game. Talking like down to the selling. Max is fucking wild. If you lock in a submission, he will talk shit to you. He'd be like, "You suck, tap out. You suck." Or if you throw him around the ring, he just screams bloody murder.
Yeah, it's funny. But anyway,
after this,
yeah, we had the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass versus the Blade and the Bollywood Boys, which is a cool sight to see. Which they're from Canada, so it made sense for them. They've done Dark a couple of times, but yeah, I mean they're cool to see. They're actually a very good tag team. Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't like slanted somewhere like an Impact or something like that. Those two guys are good, Harvard Grove Shira, Sierra. But anyway, yeah, it was just a quick, basically enhancement match. The Acclaimed and Daddy Ass won, with the mic drop, and then after the match, Harley Cameron got on stream. She teased that she has a video for them next week. They've been doing this like little musical angle,
and it's
with
special
Johnny
just for Bones
on Rampage. And yeah, because she didn't know Bones was gay.
Does she
so
still
she
not get it? Like
no,
character-wise.
Well, no, she gets it because they had a crowd chant that he's gay.
No, but she goes like, but she blew him a kiss and says the video will be special for him too. Mwah. Like, come on.
Well, she could fix him maybe.
The tides have been turned. It's no longer I can fix her. It's I can fix him.
Yeah, she can ungay him. So
Jeez.
we're gonna see how that plays out. But yeah. Anyway, after that we had a promo. Well, they showed the clips from earlier today.
Yeah.
Earlier today of Eddie Kingston winning the Stronger Boy title, which was cool. Then they showed a Mox promo of him and Eddie's history back on the Indies, back in early AEW. And fucking basically Mox just saying, listen, I know what you could be. I don't know why you're your own worst enemy. I knew you could be so much better than you are. So I don't know. Shit's really pissing me off. And he ended the promo with, Eddie, answer your phone. So that I could see transpiring in a certain way, which because Eddie's already a conflicted man, and yeah, that's gonna be a very, very cool thing.
Because I think back to Eddie, like this is like in the same vein as Eddie's promo, where like he like goes like I tried to drown I tried to drown the demons and everything like that.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah. Anyway, after that is actually when we got actually a big announcement. And that was we got the graphic for Blood and Guts. Between the
yes.
Blackpool Combat Club and the Elite, and the listed members on the team, because obviously Brian Danielson is out, and Kingston will be in the G1, which they explained on commentary. But we have Wheeler Yuta, John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and Konosuke Takeshita, with one more member to be determined, and we have Kenny Omega, Matt Nick Jackson, and Hangman Page with another member to be confirmed. Which this is a very, very, very big deal, because we were talking last week about maybe they'll just do 4v4, so they don't have to find another person because Danielson's out. All right, so let's get the easy part out of the way. I mean, the Elite, it's most likely Kota Ibushi.
Yes.
I mean, I think it's time. I think Kota Ibushi shows up and helps the boys. That's why. I mean, why would they do that thing where Kenny was in Japan?
Now,
He's like, he's not. He's out of the country. He's fucking doing something.
does he show up tonight
Next
as
week.
they're recording, or next week?
Recording what? They would not. No, they're not doing a fucking Kota Ibushi debut on Rampage.
Spike
No,
those
sir.
numbers, man. Spike
No,
the
no.
numbers.
I wouldn't even. No, that'd be fucking foolish.
It would be, but
yeah,
spike the numbers.
You no, because Collision, because they're worried about, they shouldn't even be worried about Rampage numbers.
True.
They're on a dog shit time slot and on a dog shit day, and fucking so yeah, so that Ibushi debut is either gonna happen next week or at the show itself. So that's gonna be a big time thing. But the question is about the Blackpool Combat Club, because now with Danielson out, and they need another member, and it's obviously Shota Umino and Will Ospreay are out because they're in the G1, and those are kind of two confidants of people on the team. But the only other person that I thought of was Homicide, because Homicide did tag with Moxley for a death match literally yesterday, and I could see him being on that team. He has no allegiance to the Elite at all. He has, but there was a segment later on,
Well,
which makes me think that there's another person that could be on this team that
I have
actually
another person in
would
mind.
make sense. Who?
Santana. Santana's coming back. He has bled with Moxley.
Yeah.
Well, quote unquote bled with Moxley. I say that because we know we're not getting Proud and Powerful ever again. That's dead in the water. Unless by some grace of God they've buried the hatchet, but that's doubted.
Maybe.
I bring up Santana because Santana's like he's rumored to be like okay and healed.
Because it would be a year.
Yeah.
That's usually a 9 to 10 month injury. But yeah, that's could happen. I'm thinking maybe with the tease, it could be Chris Jericho.
I swear, if it's Chris, I'm gonna be so disappointed.
I'd be fine with it because it's not his feud, and I don't think he really should be in it. But wouldn't that, if he might leave his own faction and join Don Callis, and be a part of the Don Callis faction, that would make sense. But it would be a little bit too early for my liking. But
I don't want Jericho in it because Jericho's now been in both all of them so far. Yeah, he was in the first one, and he was in the second one.
Yeah, he's been in all of them.
So like I'm not sure if they want to keep that a trend of Jericho in every War Games.
It could be Jericho. So yeah, Jericho, Santana, Homicide.
Santana is.
So yeah, it's like we already have people crossed off. Kingston's gone, Shooter's gone, Osprey's gone. So yeah, Santana, Homicide, Jericho, or it could be even somebody we're not even thinking of. To be honest,
it's very possible. It could just be. Fuck. I'm trying to dig into like the
Nick Gage. No, I'm kidding.
I'd be so upset. I'm like, fuck, man. I want to hold on to that one-time deal. But
yeah, that would be. It just depends on who they get.
Yeah.
Because
I think next week's gonna be a big telling.
Next week we'll know. Most likely. Lance Archer. I mean, I think I could see Lance Archer maybe.
also,
Yeah, that or
before we get into the next segment of where we're possibly leaning towards, we had Matt Hardy backstage getting ready to get his name picked out, and RJ said he pulls out a name, Jeff. Matt goes, "My brother? Jeff Jarrett." He goes, the slap of
fucking hate
nuts.
Jeff. I hate Jeff.
The slap of nuts. So, Matt and Jeff Jarrett are going to be teaming. This should be very interesting.
Yeah,
it's going to be fun.
They're not going to win because the people they're up against. So they're going to be wrestling Sammy Guevara and Daniel Garcia. So that's probably going to be a one and done. But I could see that spinning off into a Matt Hardy,
Jeff Jarrett program.
Jared, Jay Lethal, all them like Matt, Jeff, Isaiah, and all them versus Lethal's crew. But so because they haven't been on screen mostly since after the Mark Briscoe angle ended. But anyway, after that we had Chris Jericho in the ring cutting a promo, and he was talking about because since they were in his home nation of Canada,
home nation, second home really. He was born in Long Island.
Yeah, so he was he started his wrestling career in Alberta. So that was pretty cool. But he said it's maybe time. I've taken a lot of losses back to back as of late. I think it's time to try something new and do something different. And as he was speaking, all you heard was this ominous music. I'm like, and this guy, another fellow Canadian walks out, and Don Callis. The Canadians don't even fucking like this scumbag.
This dude has the most annoying fucking theme music ever.
Good.
It's like someone just put a freaking like vacuum next to a microphone.
Good. It is the best. I mean, it's perfect. It's literally perfect.
Oh, it is.
It's like, Jesus, here comes this fucking guy. Oh, here's fucking. So yeah. So yeah, Callis comes out. He basically says, the
crowd's.
I'm surprised anybody in the crowd even heard the promo because how loud they were booing this fucking guy.
I think they probably they probably turned the pot up a bit on the mics.
This was amazing. There's only two people in the fucking wrestling business that get these type of heat, this type of heat, and these type of reaction. Fucking Don Callis and Dominic Mysterio. Where they can't even fucking speak. And it's funny because they're not even the two biggest heels in their own promotion.
That's wild.
So, yes, it's like fucking MJF and Roman Reigns get more cheers than these guys.
That's because the biggest heels, you fucking love them. You can't hate them. Like you honestly can't hate Roman and you can't hate MJF.
Yeah. So yeah, so also Callis comes out, he's like, basically, which is actually very true, there would be no AEW without me and you. I'm the one who called you and said, hey, let's do Kenny Omega, Alpha versus Omega in the Tokyo Dome, and Kenny Omega versus Chris Jericho in the Tokyo Dome back in 2017. And I mean, that is gone on record. That's the match that got Tony Khan to think of the idea for AEW. Tony Khan watched that match and thought AEW is possible, and that changed. And I even said this. I saw somebody say this on Twitter, and I completely agree. That match, Kenny Omega versus Chris Jericho in the Tokyo Dome at Wrestle Kingdom, that is probably the most important match of the 21st century. Because if that match didn't happen, we wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Oh yeah, of course.
The butterfly effect about AEW is so cool. It's literally one thing had to happen.
It goes
where everything to go wrong, and it's not even just something like recently. This goes back to fucking years ago when I'm not even saying that. I'm saying all the way back where it's like when Kenny was in developmental, when he got mistreated by fucking Bill DeMott. If Kenny stayed in WWE developmental, there would have been no damn Okada Omega. There would have been none of that shit. Like it's all this stuff. Jericho and Kevin Owens being placed second on WrestleMania that year, and him being pissed off about that. Imagine if they opened the show or closed the show. he probably would have never left.
It's like,
It's-
yeah, it's jarring. Like it brings back the what if. Like, what if that tweet of the guy saying, "Can another company like New Japan or Ring of Honor sell
Yep.
out a 10,000 seat arena?" and adding Meltzer. Meltzer goes, "No way." Cody goes, "I'll take that bet." Boom, All In happens. Then that plants the seed for Jericho and Omega. Jericho and Omega happens. Also, remember, Tony Khan is the one who flew Chris Jericho to All In on his private jet. Remember that. That's a key moment right there, too. Like, Jericho was on Khan's private jet to All In because he was doing a Fozzy tour. So, like, Jericho and Omega technically are the most important thing for AEW. You can't put the Bucks there. You can't put Hangman there. It's Kenny and
you can't put them there. It's just that's in a different type of fucking.
it's Kenny and Jericho.
It's just the fucking apex of it happened with those two men, which is funny because they're all three of them from the same place in Winnipeg. But anyway, Don Callis basically went up to Chris Jericho and asked him, "Do you want to be a part of the Don Callis family?" He asked him. He wanted a friend of 34 years, 37 years, whatever. What he said, he wants Jericho to be a part of the Don Callis family. So Jericho basically said, "You want me to join the Don Callis family? You're asking me if I want to join the Don Callis family. You know what? I'm gonna answer this." And he's like, "You know what?
Got one word.
I got one word for you about fucking you asking me about being part of the Don Callis family." He said, "Maybe." So he said maybe. He walked out of the ring, and that ended the segment. So this is gonna continue. That's the one thing about Blood and Guts where I think I don't think Jericho's gonna be in it because I think it's gonna take more time. Where like he doesn't have an answer. Like I don't think it's gonna be an answer in a week. And he's like, "All right, now he's in Blood and Guts." But yeah. So I mean, I like it because I like the angle where because it sets something up after. With Michael and the Elite.
I have this in the back of my head. So you don't get Jericho in Blood and Guts, but I think how you could go about Jericho either saying yes or no. Don Callis somehow gets inside of the Blood and Guts cage. What's that face for? Yeah.
People are saying Ryback got arrested.
Oh yeah, he did. He doxed people.
Like what the fuck happened now?
Yeah, he was doxing
Justin
people.
Wang tweet about it. I'm like, what the fuck?
So you somehow have Don Callis be able to enter the cage, and then Jericho just but for him to say no, he locks Callis in the cage. He just relocks it, and Callis is there to deal with his thing. I think Callis can bump, right?
No,
Callis can't.
Well, I'm saying he probably could, but he hasn't wrestled since fucking.
But I'm talking about he could take maybe like a German, or like a.
He doesn't need. I mean, people want to see people hit Callis, but he doesn't need to be in there.
I
see him going in there, but not being like the fifth man on the team.
Well, no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying he somehow gets in there, but Jericho locks him in there, and that's him saying no, he's not joining the Callis family.
Oh, he'll get in there. I think he'll get in there, but see, that's what I don't want because this feud is between the Blackpool Combat Club and the Elite. This is kind of probably going to be the payoff. I mean,
ideally,
that would be so that the Elite and the Blackpool Combat Club is a lot more important than what Jericho's doing, because then it would just be make it about Jericho. And the main focal point shouldn't be about Jericho. It should be about the blow off to the club versus the Elite. So but I would be fine with him in the match. It's just limited story capability between him, but I don't think he's gonna be in it. this soon. I think it's way too soon to put Jericho in Blood and Guts. In terms of this feud, he has nothing to do with this fucking feud. So that's why I think like Homicide would be good because he's harmless to the feud. He's literally just an extra body. He's gonna be in there. He's gonna be out. He'll be in there. He could work. He could bump. He could take the death match type of bumps and like the fucking barbed wire and all that and the blades and all that shit. And he could be out without even a fucking thought.
Okay,
So
I'm looking at the Ryback stuff again. Going off topic, I think you gotta remember that that's coming from Ringside News, and Ringside News is fucking dog shit.
fucking CNN.
I think maybe like Ryback docks them, but I don't think Ryback's going to jail. If Ryback's going to jail, hey, boom, there's his retirement tour.
Yeah,
just beat the shit out of like chomos in prison. There you go.
But anyway, fucking.
After
after that we had they showed a quick little vignette of Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs and CM Punk and Samoa Joe, which that's going to be happening on Collision. But then after this we had the tag team match between
we had Roddy backstage.
Oh yeah, Roddy backstage in his neck brace after Samoa Joe attacked him on Collision last week. So Roddy, he was basically questioning Adam Cole about the MJF stuff, which we're gonna talk about in a minute. But yeah, Adam Cole's like, yeah, everything's alright. I got it. So they start the match. MJF comes out. He said he cuts his own music. He's like, so Adam Cole comes out with his music. So MJF's doing Adam Cole's whole entrance. He goes up, he does the boom. He gets in the ring. He runs around Adam Cole, and then he gets on his knees and does this. That's Roddy's spot in the Undisputed Era entrance, and Adam Cole and Roddy's entrance and like NXT and stuff.
God, the Roddy MJF feud is gonna be wild.
MJF literally did Roddy's spot. So I think that was completely intentional.
But they were taking on the team that was announced on Twitter, which was Matt Menard and the Butcher.
Which was actually a random team. Which actually was a random team, which was actually pretty fucking cool. But yeah.
Wait, are you telling me all these other teams weren't randomly picked?
No, I was to say like Jeff Jarrett and Matt Hardy. That if that's an angle, then it wasn't. I think the only one here that was randomly picked was this one, and it was probably just this one because Big Bill and Brian Cage, they're gonna fucking end up wrestling Cole and MJF, and that's gonna be a fucking
Trent
complete
and Matt Sydal wasn't random.
Yeah, that might have been random.
I'm making jokes here. It's going over your head wildly, but I'll take it.
Yeah, listen.
It's been a long day for all of us, but Adam Cole and MJF taking on Magic Meat. This was just a stupid fun match. You can't, like, MJF was trying to guilt Cole into doing more heel stuff by pulling his arm during the submission. MJF.
Dude, the great spot though is the abdominal stretch. This fucking guy was in the abdominal stretch for about fucking 5 minutes, and he's trying to get Adam Cole to like grab MJF's hand so they can do the assisted abdominal stretch.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned.
Hurts more. Yeah, I'm about to say, but Adam Cole is standing there saying, "I don't want to fucking do it," and then they all chanting, "Do it, do it." The crowd's like, "He's like, fuck it." I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Who is Adam Cole kidding, bro? This guy has been one of the biggest heels in pro wrestling. He fucking grab his hand. And this is the guy who hit him with the belt during their match, like he's never broke the rules before. But so this wasn't even a match. It was really just that it was more of an angle because it was barely a match. It's like they didn't really do much. Like Adam Cole got the hot tag, he ran wild, he hit the boom on Matt Menard.
Double clothesline, come on.
He hit the boom and pinned Matt Menard 1, 2, 3. MJF was trying to tag in to do the fucking double clothesline. I mean, I don't know what the fuck he thought the double clothesline was gonna do. I mean, it's not like he's hitting the fucking Rainmaker on this guy.
When the double clothesline happens, the world will be at peace.
I swear to God, nobody better kick out of the double clothesline, the fucking most dangerous move in pro wrestling.
But after this, MJF would get on the mic saying, "I think we could have done a lot better with double clothesline, but I digress." I said, "Hey, do you want us to do more bro down stuff?" Which is that I fucking hope that means MJF is gonna appear on an Adam Cole stream.
I hope so. I hope this guy's sitting in his house. Hey, dude, let's play Mario Kart. They got these fucking stream, these two fucking playing Smash Bros or some bullshit. It's like, all right, how do you play this game? Is this game for fucking nerds?
Then you have MJF really dig into it, yell for Britt Baker to bring in like pizza rolls.
Nah, Britt's not gonna let that motherfucker in the house. Yeah. So
hey,
fucking,
Doc, Doc, bring the pizza rolls, Doc. Come on.
Yeah, boundaries. But anyway, after the match, MJF gets on the mic and he says, "Listen, first things he said a list of things they need to do. He's like, number one, we got to do the double clothesline. This is very important to him. He has to do the double clothesline will be attempted. Number two, they want to have another bro session, and number three, happy birthday, because it is Adam Cole's birthday. It's also my dad's birthday. It's also Edie Falco, Carmela Soprano's birthday.
I was like, man, like it's like MJF's gonna do some wild shit for his birthday. And sure enough, he goes like, come on, brings out the local talent who have headsets on, and Charlie the security guard.
Charlie was there. He had some party hats they were passing out to the crowd. They had a cake. They shot streamers into the fucking ring, like some old ass Ring of Honor show. So yeah, MJ puts on the party hat. They got balloons out there. He puts the party hat on Adam Cole, and then Adam Cole is like, Max, and then he puts a fucking one of the fucking the party.
The party horns.
Yeah, he put a party horn in his mouth, shut him up, and then MJF proceeded to sing "Happy Birthday" like he's fucking Michael Bublé, to Adam Cole, and Adam Cole is like, Max, shut up. We know you're a great singer.
To John F. Kennedy.
Yeah,
trying to seduce him.
He fucking started singing, and then he said, "Listen, we get it. You're a good singer." So he stops singing and he's like, wait a minute, we got to blow out the candle. We got to make a wish. And he goes to the camera. I'm going to push his face in the cake. And then, so MJF goes to push his face in the cake. Adam Cole completely fucking completely did the run around on him, grabs his head, smashes MJF's face in the cake. MJF, he doesn't really care. He's laughing. Adam Cole's licking the shit off of him. Fucking, MJF's eating the cake. And, Adam Cole said at the end, MJF, I really appreciate you doing this for my birthday.
Thanks, friend.
And thanks, friend. Thank you, my friend. And that's how they left it. So it's like, this is fucking great.
You have MJF
this shit
with
is
the
fucking
biggest
great.
shit-eating grin.
Dude, both these, see, that's the best thing about it, because both these guys know they're both full of shit. And they're like out full of shitting each other, because MJF knows this is a scheme. Yeah. This is like it's like he's not doing this willingly. Yeah, but that's the thing people forget about Adam Cole. He's not a dumb babyface. Adam Cole has been a top heel, number one top heel in multiple companies for fucking years. He knows what he's doing, and he's doing it to MJF.
People have to remember he was one of the leaders of the Bullet Club, for Christ's sakes.
Well, not really.
He was
never a leader.
De facto.
Yeah, he tried to be the leader of the Bullet Club, but he was the leader of one of the greatest factions in WWE history. In the Undisputed Era, he was He was probably the best heel and the best champion in WWE for an extremely long time, for as long as his title reign went. But yeah, this MJF and Adam Cole shit is fucking amazing.
After this, we go backstage to Britt Baker. She's talking to Renee. It's pretty much just saying, hey, like, Ruby, I have what you couldn't get last year. Then they showed the roll up and everything. And I was like, it's this match. Yeah, so we cut to commercial. We're backstage again with Jericho. Jericho's saying to Garcia and Sammy, hey, you got to start doing stuff on your own. I'm not going to be here forever. And then that was announcement. Garcia and Sammy were a team. Now getting into Ruby and Britt. they just can't seem to get on the same page. This was another rough match.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I think a lot of the beginning, because a lot of way, not a lot of way, a lot of ways these matches work on television for AEW is basically they do the most of the heat of the match before.
Yeah.
Because I can really tell the formula now, where it's like they do most of the heat of the match before the picture. They die down the picture, depending on how many there are. And then after the picture, say if there's one, then the match really fucking picks up, and then it really starts going. But yeah, like
Here,
I think
they
near the
just
finish,
couldn't get on the same
yeah,
page.
a lot of 70% of the match was the heat, and they really weren't on the same page. But the finish of the match was, I thought it was it got a lot better at the finish of the match
Yeah,
because
I
the
can-
crowd was, it got a lot better at the ending of the match because the crowd was actually up for a lot of the shit Britt was doing, like the kick out where uh Tony interfered and they smashed her head on the Owen Hart title belt. That was a great near fall. The crowd actually really came up for that near fall. But actually, that's the one thing I did like about the match too, was the finish.
Mm.
They went for Ruby went for the lockjaw, then Britt went for the lockjaw. Then they pulled Ruby over just to save her. Then Britt spelled all the outcasts. Um, then the finish ended up being basically the role, which was actually a tribute to Bret Hart and Owen. They did that last year in their finals match.
Yeah.
And that's how Britt won. And they did it again, but Ruby did it. She crossed the legs and actually pinned her. She ran away. It was highway robbery. And Ruby Soho advances in the tournament, upsetting Britt
Yeah.
Baker, who was last year's champion. But
And
yeah,
then,
70% of the match wasn't really that great. But I thought the finish picked up because of the crowd came up for it.
Because you know me, I'm like I do like Ruby, I like Britt, and I because last year their match it was okay, it wasn't the best. But
I
this
still think the
one-
best match they ever had was the one at Arthur Ashe.
Oh, I
in
can
the main
agree with
event.
that. I can strongly agree. It's just that like when it came to here, like I had high hopes because I wanted to at least see that they had the ability to like prove that hey, first like the last time it was a fluke, this time we're gonna do better, but it just didn't go. It didn't go the way they wanted it to. It seems up until the end. Then as Ruby's on the ramp, you have Sky Blue come out. They do a face off. And now, which leads us, because it's time for the main event.
Oh, before we get to the main event, just a rundown for Collision. Collision
yes.
is gonna do a lot of the bulk of the Owen Hart stuff. So we have obviously Punk versus Joe, number 4. We have Willow Nightingale and Athena, which I'm actually very, very excited for. That's probably gonna steal the show. We also have Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks. We have, and this is actually a very cool match, Jay White, Bullet Club Gold's Jay White and Juice Robinson versus FTR for the AEW Tag Team Championships. And I think that's the only thing announced for Collision. And on Rampage, which is actually the 100th edition of Rampage, this Friday, we have Matt Hardy and Jeff Jarrett versus Sammy Guevara and Daniel Garcia. We have, I believe, Hikaru Shida versus
It's Marina Shafir.
Hikaru Shida versus Marina Shafir. We're getting a rematch of the Elite versus the Dark Order, and we're getting Trent Beretta and Matt Sydal versus Big Bill and Brian Cage.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very fun Collision.
Yeah, it's just Rampage and Collision look good.
Depending on
this
how
week.
things are, expect either.
I will definitely not be on the Collision one. I
Okay.
know I will not be on. Definitely, I know ahead of time this time.
Depending on situations, if Mike is available, there will be a post show. There was no post show last week because I wasn't feeling too good, so I just slept most of the day. So I woke up towards the main event of Collision. So, yeah. But hey, it's time for that main event. We have Wheeler Yuta taking on Kenny Omega in his first singles match since Forbidden Door.
This is their first time ever matchup, folks. This was, I mean, I was very excited for this. Wheeler Yuta and Kenny have been in the ring together, but they did not ever have a singles match before. But yeah, listen, let me tell you something right now. Kenny Omega even wrestling after that match, yeah, with Will Ospreay is fucking nuts. I mean, if I was Kenny Omega, I probably would have took 2 fucking months off after that shit. But I love the emphasis on Wheeler Yuta going in on his own because obviously Mox is in
Uh,
Japan. Brian's got a broken arm. Claudio was there, but not during the match. So
since
yeah.
since Mike is just watching the show as we recap, he goes, "Is it just me or did the butcher look sunburnt to hell?"
That's not sunburn, brother.
That's just
That's that gallows fucking alcohol red.
Jesus Christ.
Gallows is how I learned about him. Like that guy drinks so much, and like that's all the red.
I don't
of
think
alcohol.
I don't think Butcher drinks that much since like he's slimmed down. I think that's just him.
Yeah, because I'm like that's what it immediately because Gallows is like I always when I see that shit I'm like all right
Gallows
look at
is
this
an alcoholic.
Gallows. Well
Come on.
he's a booze bag.
But Butch, well Butcher, I should say, just not WWE Butch, but Butcher, I think like it's just him and like because him and Blade are always just like tan to shit, to be honest. Also, you have to remember too, Butcher does
those are
a lot of concert
well.
going.
Let me tell you something. That is not fucking real tan, bro.
I know it's not real tan.
I'm like, bro, every MJF Blade match, they leave a fucking another human being on the mat every time they fucking wrestle. But I mean, MJF's is fucking horrendous. I mean,
Like,
and I think it's
so
I think
bad.
I think it's a gimmick by now. I think he knows it too.
Because
Like,
like
his
at points,
he-
like
he-
MJF's hands are whiter.
I mean, if MJF's hands fucking went through a picket fence, they think fucking he can get to a cookout with one of those. But I mean, the guy, I mean, Christ Almighty. But Kenny Omega and Wheeler Yuta, they had a great match. He gave Omega gave Yuta most of the match during the picture-in-picture and before the picture-in-picture. Obviously they were the crowd was up for Kenny because they're in Canada. But there was a really great spot that I really did like where Kenny went for his "You Can't Escape" fucking moonsault, and he couldn't. And usually he does it, he fucking immediately pops up. Clearly, not even Olympic gymnasts can do that shit. Like Tiffany Stratton does the "You Can't Escape" on NXT. She's an Olympic gymnast. She can't even do that. I don't know how he does it. He's perfect at it. But when he does fuck it up, it's on purpose because if you didn't look, he was wrapped. He was taped up the back of his neck, and he was taped up on his shoulder due to the Osprey match. And I loved it because he didn't pop up and he immediately started selling his neck because of the Tiger Driver 91 that he took from Will Ospreay, obviously Mitsuharu Misawa's finishing move. But yeah, very, very much like Kenny selling the neck on that spot. But yeah, Yuto got most of the match, but the ending of the match was excellent. The V trigger combinations, the what's it called? The fucking seatbelt attempt, which Yuta has been very successful at, which I liked how he did the seatbelt because he was doing this when he was in the best of the Super Juniors as well. Every time he would hook the leg with the seatbelt, nobody would get out of it. He was reaching for Kenny's leg for the seatbelt, but he didn't get his leg, and then Kenny was able to kick out because that's Yuta's finish. Yuta's finish is the seatbelt, and then he tried to go for he has the Bisaiku now, but he tried going for the Bisaiku, didn't work. Kenny got him in another V trigger. Then here comes Don Callis running down to the ring. Here comes security trying to stop this guy. Rick Knox went out to fucking try to stop him. But all of a sudden, Konosuke Takeshita is in the ring, gives Kenny a Blue Thunder bomb, and gets out of the ring. Yuta goes for the pin. I thought this was it. But Kenny Omega kicks out. Great near fall. Kenny ends up getting him, hits another V-trigger, gets Yuta in the corner, punches him in the face through his legs, then hits the running one-winged angel on him and defeats Wheeler Yuta. Immediately, Claudio Castagnoli and Konosuke Takeshita rush the ring and start beating on Kenny. Then the Young Bucks and Hangman Page, they come out to save him. They all have chairs. And as they're going off the air, Hangman Page is about to hit Claudio in the head. And all of a sudden, who runs down to stop Hangman from hitting Claudio in the head? None other than the Dark Order. The Dark Order grabbed the chair away from Hangman, and Yeah, that's how they went off the air. So that sets up the rematch for Rampage. Evil Uno was the one who stripped it away from him. They got cut off, like really got cut off. But you can find out the whole segment on Twitter. It's just they just look at each other and really I mean, you didn't really miss anything. But yeah, they grabbed the chair away from him, and that's how they went off the air. I thought this was a great show tonight.
It was.
Very,
Yeah,
very good stuff.
I strongly agree. Guess leaving us off, the wrestler of the week for me, I'll give it to I'll give it to Darby Allin for taking that stair bump. Getting stepped on violently.
For me, I'm gonna go with Eddie Kingston, winning his first ever Japanese professional wrestling title, New Japan, with the New Japan Strong Openweight title.
The King deserves it.
Listen, that is fucking amazing. He was emotional. He was great. I mean, excellent match with Kenta, and yeah, congrats to Eddie.
I agree. Oh, let me switch stuff. Fuck it. I don't care. I'm gonna end stream, guys. Thank you all for watching. There's a new series out on the YouTube channel, Pro Wrestling Injection Backstage Arcade. I went through the Road to Elite. Those videos will be releasing every week on Wednesday. So yeah, without further ado, guys, we'll catch you later. Goodbye.